Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, you already live. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. But your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda said.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Go. 2 for 66. Like 20. Obama.
The first carry now for Alex Collins. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
On second down, here's Goff. Dancing to his left. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Goff. Going left side here, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Goff on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the .40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Value three.
Here's a first down run with Collins. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first, they go right back to Collins. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On second down, Collins. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing on third. Gone. And that is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Garoppolo. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Samson Ebukam in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now a give to Collins. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Here's Collins. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Goff. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. From the 50, it's Goff. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Collins. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. prática. This is Collins on the handoff. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Forced out to his left. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Leaps past him, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now Collins, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They run with Collins. Now the ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
11.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. And his throw is incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep. He's got him in. Complete. 30. The 20. 10. Touchdown. New Orleans. A big play there. 94 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Goff now looking to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Tyler Davison forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Watch in. Cut. 5. Check. 55 value 1.
Out of the gun. Goff. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Starting left here. 11.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tyler Davison in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here comes the Rams punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. An update from out in Kansas City. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Well, fellas, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. On the stop was Aaron Donald. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And he's got this down to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. He's going to launch this. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half for your partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists in their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Gone. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play. Now Goff on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. An update from out in Kansas City. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. On first down, Goff. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. Throwing again is Goff. And this is caught at the 8. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To the air again, Goff. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Jared Goff in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well. So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it? Absolutely. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down. Garoppolo now. And this is going to be incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Go. 76, tell him. 76. 76.
On first down, it's gone. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And on the ground they go with the running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because, for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Louis. Starting left here.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. The Rams on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he coughed it up. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And Lutz's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Second and 10, Goff again. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended target.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. He hops over him.
That's why you stretch.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
From his end zone, Goff on 3rd and long. He's going to look deep down the field. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Here we go, here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down at 8. To throw is Garoppolo. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Saints add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Extra point splits the uprights. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their offender.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. The tackle there by John Johnson.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Lutz now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And got his man complete. Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 41 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
12. Go.
Play action. It's Goff. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And this is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
Maverick.
Goff throwing again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They come up in an offset eye. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Alex Collins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer.
Super 1. DC.
Now a toss coming right side. That's Collins, and he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll run it here. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Saints, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Rams, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, you've been watching.